Yeah, we're excited about our win this last weekend, the first round of the NCAA Tournament with the 3-0 result over Cal State Northridge. Felt we kind of got out our first round jitters a little bit, especially early in the game, and we were able to get a good result with some good finishing. And we're excited about this weekend with Cal Saturday night at 7 o'clock, or Friday night, at 7 o'clock, and to be able to host the second and third rounds with UCLA and Kentucky playing before us on Friday, and then of course the winners will play each other at noon on Sunday. So excited about another fun weekend, and just hoping to keep going what we've started already this year.
At the beginning of that last game, you guys started off a little sluggish. But they came out pretty strong at the beginning. Is that going to help you guys moving forward?
Yeah, I think Northridge was a great first round matchup for us because they did bring a lot of pressure, a lot of physical play. It was a bit of a frantic game that I thought that we didn't do a great job in the first 15 minutes, just kind of dealing with their pressure and putting the ball on the ground as much as we'd like. I thought as we settled in, we were able to keep the ball a little bit more, but still not what we've been accustomed to. And I think one of the things for us has been the 9 games we played in the Mountain West were very different than that. We didn't get the pressure like that. So it had been a few games since we had seen something like that. So it was a good first-round matchup for that, because I think Cal will be certainly a team that's going to want to pressure us as well. It'll be different in the sense that they're gonna bring more of a possession style to the game. I think it'll be a better game to watch from a fan standpoint, and I think that'll be better for us as well.
Mike, could you talk about the sort of level that you're going up this week and how good Cal is? I mean, everyone knows Stanford from that conference,
Mm-hmm.
but how good is it? And they're pretty young, but they're pretty talented, right?
Yeah, certainly. From a talent standpoint, very good and very deep. They've done a great job recruiting, at Cal to put themselves in a great position. I think they are a little bit on the younger side, but they still have some experienced players. Their number 10 player is a senior who's played in the Olympics, and so they've got some experience mixed in there as well. But they're a very good team. I think as we go into the tournament at this point, there's not one team left that's an easy game for anybody. And for us playing, basically now playing the Pac-12 over the next however many games, depending on the results, we're going to have to bring our best. And that's, they were third in the Pac-12, so they're a very good team. We saw them last year. It was a pretty even game. They probably had a little bit better of the game up at their place. But we're obviously two different teams this year as well, as we've made some changes to our rosters both, and obviously late in the following season. So that was 40 games ago, but I think it'll be a good matchup.
Playing a quick game Friday, Sunday, do you think that goes in your guys' advantage?
Certainly an advantage to be at home, to do that as opposed to being on the road to do that. So we're excited that we did, put ourselves in this position to host this weekend. At this point in the year, this is a tough weekend to play such good teams, but that's, again, why we've scheduled the way we've scheduled over the past 5 years and 6 as I've been the head coach here, to make sure that we've been experienced in these exact situations. And, of course, there's a little bit more on the line with the tournament, but we've played, the Stanford-Santa Clara weekend this year. We've played, at Minnesota on the road with Iowa State back-to-back. We've played at Boise State and then traveled to Portland, with Portland having no Friday game. In fact, they had 12 days rest. So we've been in this situation several times before, so we're hoping to draw on that experience. But being at home, I think, is an advantage. At this point in the year, these teams are so good that I don't think there's ever too much of an advantage with any of that stuff, but it helps be at home.
This is the furthest a team in St. Louis history has been. I mean, nobody's won 2 games in the tournament. And you're facing a lot of schools that have been there regularly. Is that overblown, or is there something to that? Is there something to that experience in the tournament versus just experience of playing with teams?
I think there's something to experience at a lot of levels. We do have players in our program that have played multiple games in the NCAA before. Mostly they're older players. We have some transfers that have done the same thing from UCLA. So some of that experience is in the team. It certainly helps, I think, in terms of just knowing what to expect. But at the same time, we've been doing a lot of sharing within the team of what this is like. And the reality, I think the experience part really comes in at the beginning of the tournament, where I thought last weekend our experience paid off, having been here before, and it's a little bit different feel. But, I think, that experience at some point kind of gets thrown out the window when you get deeper in the tournament, because it is a new year, and each season and each team brings, its new challenges, and So I feel like, last weekend maybe that was the case. This weekend's probably not quite as much. And I think then again, going back to us being at home certainly helps us.
You said after last week's game that your practices were the sharpest you've had all year. How have they been this week?
Well, limited so far. We just had yesterday's training. Since then, we gave them a couple days off to make sure our legs are back underneath us, and we'll train again tonight. But I think yesterday's training was much better than last week, just more focused. We've had a little bit of rest, like I said. We'll be a little more healthy going into this weekend as we were a bit banged up last weekend. So, I think the energy will be very good tonight as we look forward to the Cal game on Saturday. But all year long we've had some very good trainings. I think that's one of the things this team has really done a good job is, I can count on a single hand the amount of times I've actually had to ask for the effort to be higher. So that's something that's just they've grown accustomed to. And I think that's one of the strengths of the team is not just team, but they've brought that work ethic every day, and that's really paid off as we've gone through the season.